All right, welcome back. Here we are, another Wing It Wednesday. My name is Dave. This is my brother Ray, and we are.
Preachers from the bleachers.
And here we go. Here we go. So let's talk about some sports. Oh, actually, let's do some introductory stuff first. We're here every week on YouTube, also on Spotify
Spotify, Spotify,
and
Spotify.
anchor.fm/preachers from the bleachers. You guys forward it out to anybody you think might be interested in listening to a couple idiots talk about sports. And leave us some comments. We'll be happy to reply or talk about anything you got any questions about, what our opinions are, if you care. So, uh, guess without further ado, let's go to the hot hand. Let's talk about some NFL. So, hot hand for you and me today would be that your Bears beat my Panthers over the weekend.
Beat them
So,
bad. Beat them bad.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we look bad beating you. That's what I.
I was gonna. Neither one of those teams
Know
look
what
very
I?
good.
Hey man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
the great Bill Parcells says, "You are what your records say you are." You know what I mean? Winning ugly is what the Bears have been doing all year long. We're 5-1, but I'd rather win ugly than to lose pretty.
yeah,
And I've seen that somewhere, but I'm like, yeah, who wants to? I don't want to lose no matter what. I don't care how it is. 5-1 and winning ugly to me is not that bad because you know you got a whole lot of coaching. They in the locker room. They know they don't look as good as a typical 5-1 team. So I would rather as a coach be able to be 5-1 with a lot of things to fix as a as opposed to being 1-5 with a lot of things to fix.
yeah,
Right now, you're 5-1. There's an extra slot in the playoffs. You're currently in first. You can go 500 the rest of the way, be 10-6.
yeah.
It's a good year.
Well, and as bad as the Panthers looked on Sunday, they're still in it in the NFC South. So uh, New Orleans looks okay, Tampa looks okay, Atlanta looks terrible. So you know, Panthers aren't that far out. Teddy Bridgewater didn't look that great on Sunday. He's looked better this year so far, and our defense, as always, is terrible. So there was a couple throws he made that the receiver should have caught or didn't catch or um, one. I think he threw one interception that was an NQI. But anyway, you guys got a great defense. Anybody coming up against Khalil Mack, you guys had pressure on Teddy B all day
He
long. So
he started slow too this
yeah,
season. I was wondering, like, damn, we spent too much money.
where you at? It's no preseason games, man. I didn't get up to game speed.
Probably. It might be something to say for preseason because I'm one of those people that be thinking preseason. Nah, you
Yeah,
don't need it. Maybe we do. We need. They only play like 4 quarters total. For
yeah,
I mean,
right.
it might be four preseason games, and they play a total of 4 quarters. The whole maybe they need them 4 quarters to get right,
I think I
or
was
maybe
on record as saying that the preseason matters.
you were. You were.
So
Break it down. White brother was right for the first.
oh yeah, okay, all right. I see how you're gonna be. All right. So other big news in the NFL today: Tua taking over.
Mm-mm.
Fitzmagic's going to the bench. He's not playing too bad or anything this year. They just said, look, Tua's the guy we got to have going forward. So, um, man, I tell you what, if you're Miami, do you trade Fitz? Try to get a draft pick out of him,
No.
or you just kind of keep him there in case Tua flounders?
I mean, he 37.
Yeah.
Like I know quarterbacks are playing into later years, but at 37, I'm not sure what you're gonna get for him.
Well, if you get anything for him, you're doing well. I mean, maybe a contender really needs a backup quarterback that can come in and maybe play like Philly did when Wentz went down and Foles came in and
But
he did all
but
right.
where do you go when Tua don't look good?
Well, what does it matter? You're going to lose anyway, right?
I think they're 3-3, so we can't say they were going to lose. I think that's my biggest problem with it. Everybody knew Tua was going to start. I think
Yeah.
there was pressure because Burrow is looking good. He got the job from the start. Herbert is
Herbert.
looking good. We didn't know Herbert was going to look this good this early.
Yeah.
He got the job in a in a medical situation and ain't looked back. So I think you picking Tua where you picked him, there might be some outside pressure. I don't know. I don't live in Miami where people saying, "Hey, what about Tua? What about Tua?" No, what about your 3-3 record? You have a responsibility to the other 52 people on the squad to try to complete for a playoff spot. There is no more Brady in the NFC East, and Cam Newton and the Patriots don't look good.
That's true.
So you
That's true.
you should be
And the Jets
trying
are
to.
horrible.
And the Jets, does the Jets still play in the NFL? I thought they got demoted to the G League. They ain't even got a G League in the NFL, but they're the first participants in that league.
They're
Anyway,
going to NFL Europe.
they're going to XFL, and I already heard that they, favorites to lose that league as well. All BS aside, man, at 3-3, Fitzmagic is playing well. He had 2 games that were kind of but I just think that this is right about the time where you do want to put your future in, but they thought they would at best be 2-4. They didn't see 3-3.
Right?
They see the rest of the league sucking. It's the complete opposite of what Ron Rivera said. He said, "Hey man, we could win this league with 7 or 8 wins. I'm gonna go for it and put in a guy that already understands my system." They're pretty much saying the complete opposite. Nope, the future is now. We're gonna work on the future. It don't make sense. Like Tua might be the future, but he's just one man of 53. They just, to me, being a little irresponsible to the rest of the squad.
Okay.
Now,
That's
if he
fair
go
enough.
out and throw for 3 games of 300 plus yards, I'm gonna take back all of what I just said.
Like I said, when the first game I saw him play at Alabama, I said that guy is. He was coming in for like the fourth quarter just to get some garbage time, and I was like, that dude has a cannon. That thing's on a rope.
It's
He's
pretty, and
he's
it's a pretty ball.
he's going to play on Sunday, and it's accurate. Yeah.
You can go back to one of our earlier shows, and I told you whoever get Tua wins the draft.
Yeah.
I said that, so I understand what they got, but you don't know until you know what you know, right?
You got to see him play, man.
He ain't played a full 4 quarters yet, so I try not to judge him in the first game. I give him 2-3 games before I say, "Ooh, that look bad" or "that look good." Now,
yeah,
just like I said, if he go out here and throw 300 yards for 3 games straight, I'm gonna take back. But if he throw 5 picks on this upcoming week, I ain't gonna take 3 weeks to take it back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you then it don't look too good.
I don't think he threw 5 picks all his Alabama career. No, he probably did, but I'm just saying
better play to Alabama.
Yeah, you're right. He was pretty accurate there too. So I'm not too worried about him looking terrible. If he looks terrible, it's because he's going to be running for his life.
And he can run.
I don't know who they're playing this weekend. So, but
they not playing this weekend. That was the other.
Oh yeah, they're off. Okay.
They got a bye week, so we can really get this guy prepped up and ready to go.
2 weeks to get him ready.
2 weeks to get him ready.
So, but I think if I'm Miami, man, I might think about trading Fitzpatrick. Somebody that's like more of a contender might give you something decent for him, just in case their quarterback might go down.
Might, but having Fitzmagic, that's a Harvard man in your locker room, in your quarterback room. I feel bad for Fitz, first of all.
Yeah.
Even though he knew this was the deal, it ain't the first time it's been the deal with Fitz.
Never.
He's like the quarterback. He's the guy that warm up the seat for the next guy.
He was the Foles before the Foles.
he just warm it up for the next guy, but usually he has the Fitzmagic kind of runs out. He kind of just dips a little bit, then he get replaced. You can't replace me after I throw for 300 yards. Like, that just don't seem right. Let me fail a little bit, not even a lot. Just let me fail a little bit. Let me go out here and throw for 265 and be 13 of 18 and be like, "Oh, we're gonna make this replacement." Yeah. That ain't really a game to replace me on, but but I understand. 300 yards?
Yeah.
Man, you gotta go and let me get another week.
Usually he'll throw for like 4 interceptions and then they'll set him down.
That's the time to sit him down. Not when I throw for 300.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. Here we go. Pittsburgh versus the Titans this weekend, 2 5-0 teams. If I got that right, I believe I have that right. So
5-0.
The undefeated teams.
Somebody got to go.
And I'm not excited about either one of these teams. I'm really not.
I love both of them.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you love about them?
Play football. like the way football is meant to be played.
I know you like Derrick Henry.
I like people that smash other people in the face. That's like this is some old school football, man. And before I get too far off the subject, let me pay homage to Mike Tomlin. Things didn't look good, but they didn't look bad last year. No Big Ben. You know what I mean? We done got rid of Le'Veon. No matter what they throw at this dude, we're going to take away your best running back. We're going to take away your best wide receiver. Oh, by the way, your quarterback ain't going to play this year. They still 7-9, 8-8. He still compete. Now, you give him a few more weapons. Big Ben is back. We done drafted Connor is back. James Conner is back. We draft Benny Snell to try to take off of some of his load here and there. They back to being the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well,
the dude can coach.
He can coach. He is a great coach. I don't know. I don't think that they didn't look very good when they won last weekend, but they won. They eked it out. But you know what my problem with Mike Tomlin is this year? What the hell are you doing with Juju Smith-Schuster? Where did he go? He was like a number one receiver, and all of a sudden he is like, you got Claypool and you got who's the other? Deontay Johnson. Is Deontay Johnson? And so, and those guys are doing great. Don't get me wrong, but man, you got Juju Smith-Schuster there, who's been your number one for at least a couple years, and you are barely using that guy.
He didn't look good last year.
Juju?
He didn't look good last year. I remember this very specifically.
Okay.
When Antonio Brown was still on the team, and he said, y'all think Juju is a number one wide receiver. He can't hold my jockstrap, and y'all going to find out. Now, we can throw it away last year. There was no Big Ben. Let's throw it away. But what are we seeing this year? He not good enough to handle, not necessarily, because I don't think they're double teaming him, but they are leaning the coverage toward him. He ain't good enough to shake it. So that leaves the guys you talking about. Chase Poole is a little more. He got a one-on-one. He beating his man a lot of times. Our guys are taking advantage of their matchups because this guy is drawing attention, but he can't shake loose.
Yeah.
So he's just not he number one in name only.
All right. Well, I haven't seen him run any routes. I
thought this was gonna be his year.
I did too.
But it ain't looking good. He just ain't.
A lot of people did, and boy, they disappointed. Matter of fact, I got him on a trading block. If anybody wants him, yeah. If you got a bag of Doritos, and I want the Cool Ranch Doritos, not the nacho cheese. I want the Cool Ranch. Right. If you got a bag of those Doritos, I'm in. So,
but there's a lot of season left, Dave. They might figure it out. You don't have to figure it out when you're 5-0.
So who you got? Pitt or Tennessee?
Pittsburgh. You know I love King Henry out there tossing money, just mean mugging people in the face. But that's what Pittsburgh like. They just look at you and laugh, say, "Give me some more."
You know what? I don't know, man. Everybody always underrates Ryan Tannehill. Nobody ever gives him any credit. Man, I think Tennessee's got a chance. So I'm going to take the Titans this week. I guess you're going to take Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Let's call that a burger bet.
That's a burger bet. Let me tell you something else about the great Ryan Tannehill.
Good. He's a good Aggie.
It's a team sport. So I'm not taking away from facts. When they take away King Henry, he can't do it. He's only average or even better than average when King Henry is 120 plus yards, 110 yards. When you watch the playoffs, because in the playoffs, everybody got their big boy pants on. When they took out King Henry, he became very pedestrian. So and again, it's a team game.
It's time to step up.
Ain't nothing wrong with saying I need King Henry.
Time for Ryan to step up. Make some plays.
It's difficult. So I think this would be a great litmus test for him because they gonna come for him. They going to. I don't see 150 yards by King Henry.
You know what? Pittsburgh, go on and trade Juju to Tennessee because Ryan's receivers are not near as good as yours.
That's a lot. And Brown. Yeah, because I got one of them on my fantasy team.
Yeah, AJ Brown's all right, but
yeah, he ain't played much. But when he's on the field, injuries, he can't do nothing about injuries. When he plays, he looks good.
Yeah,
I can't say he looks fantasy good. He looks NFL football good.
And what's number 84 there? What's his name? Corey Davis. He's not been as expected.
Just all of a sudden decided to play football.
Yeah.
Been in the league 4 years.
Yeah.
Now he was like, I think you know what it was? I'm about to lose my paycheck. I think I better
Yep.
start catching some damn balls.
And man, he's shown flashes every once in a while of, hey man, you could be a pretty good player, and it just disappears again. So I don't know where it comes and where it goes. But anyway, I got the Titans, you got Pitt. Let's watch it this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next, Le'Veon Bell goes to the Chiefs. Man, how do you think he's going to do there?
He's gonna do what Sammy Watkins did when he got there. He's gonna do what all you're an add-on. Like you're not the star, so he's gonna help. He's gonna make some plays. It's definitely a problem if you put him and Hilaire in the backfield and motion him out. But he's just a piece. He's just one piece to the puzzle, and he a piece is a luxury piece. He ain't the center of the he a corner piece. If you take away the corner piece, you can still figure out what that puzzle is.
Well, I think that Reed, man, he loves doing that 3-down running back guy, but Hilaire, man, he keeps getting stuffed at the goal line. So I think Bell is definitely going to get the goal line carries so he can punch it in. But I think they might end up splitting. I think they'll probably, the first week, Le'Veon will probably get 10 to 12 carries, something like that, maybe, and maybe 25% of the work at the back, something like that. And then it's probably, I think going down the stretch, it's going to be closer to 50-50, depending on who's hot that day or whatever. I think Hilaire has not come out like Kareem Hunt did when he started there and that kind of thing. So I think Le'Veon's going to get a little bit more of the carries than typically a second back would.
I don't. I think he'll get 12 touches. Whether that's in the receiving game or whether that's running, I think he'll get 12 total touches.
Okay.
And that's still good.
Yeah. I think he'll probably get a little bit more. I'm not going to say 20. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Maybe 15.
But if we moving you, like I said, we put you both in the backfield and I move you to the slot. I motion you, do what Andy Reid do, motion you one way and bring you back the other way. And then when the ball is snapped, you're really in a slot receiver position. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he is a slot receiver.
Yeah.
And we throw the ball to you. I mean, 12 touches is 12 touches. At this point, you ain't the man, and nobody's saying you the man. You ain't the star player on the team. You can't be bigger than Patrick.
That's true. I'm sure they're going to line him up at receiver a good amount while Hilaire is in the backfield. I'll bet you they do that too.
I mean, it's like any other sport.
Yeah.
Just comparing it to basketball. Basketball has got away from playing. Oh, I got to have a center and 2 forwards and put your best 5 on the floor and do it right. Same thing if you Kansas City. You got enough weapons now that when you say, hey, let's put Kelsey, Watkins, Hilaire, Le'Veon, put them all on the field. Put your best skill position group on the field, and then let's go do it. That's a dangerous thing for the rest of the league, man.
Well, it's great when you can actually play a good running back and wide receiver too. So that allows you to put more guys on the field with playmaking talent. So I like to see that kind of stuff. I love it when I see a running back line up at a slot or something like that. I think that's pretty cool. So, all right, looking forward to seeing Le'Veon play with the Chiefs and see how that's going to turn out. But okay, so AB may be coming back. AB, Antonio Brown, who wants him? Looks like the Seahawks are in that pool.
Well, the Seahawks have always been in on it. It's probably a really good fit considering that Pete Carroll is the coach. I mean, they always kick the tires on Terrell Owens. So, this ain't shocking. This ain't shocking to me.
They kicked the tires, but they passed, right?
Well, you still got to play.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch that game, that last game I saw TL play in a Seahawks uniform, he had 4 drops. Like at that point, he ain't tried it again. Nobody called him again. You dropping the 4. You can't drop 4 balls as an old veteran. You drop 4 balls as a rookie with potential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to hang out with you for a little bit, see what you might be able to pull off. But as a vet, man, you already, when you dropped the 4th, when you dropped the 2nd one, you knew what time it was. He was dropping them in practice. Like I would see the ESPN highlights, and So I don't think that's Antonio Brown though. Antonio Brown, I mean, at that time T.O. was like 39. So like I don't think that's Antonio. I think he gonna come out and he gonna be ready to show and prove.
Yeah.
The only thing that's bad is if you have Tyler Lockett on your fantasy team like me. That's an issue.
Or DK Metcalf.
Or DK. Man, it might not be an issue at all because Russell throwing that thing out there like he Marino right now.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody getting some love. You know what I mean? Like if you have Tyler Lockett, like I had Tyler Lockett and somebody else got DK, we ain't mad. We everybody getting fed.
They're both getting theirs this year. Yeah.
And
Chris Carson too.
I was going to say having a third receiver. Listen, if they get Antonio Brown, a 70% Antonio Brown, they will be the NFC favorites.
All right. If you're Antonio Brown, knowing you're going to be the third guy there, is that where you want to go?
Yes, because you already been kicked to the curb by a couple teams.
By a couple good teams.
So you got to get that humble pie. That humble pie, it tastes. You know what? You think you a star, you might think you bigger and better than the league. Remember when he was talking about the league need me? No, bro, they don't.
They did all right without you.
They did all right. You know what I mean? Like, guess what?
Through COVID, they did all right without you.
While you out there talking about the league needs you, DK Metcalf was getting drafted.
That's right.
That first year didn't look like DK was going to be this DK. The league, this is true for all sports. But even more true for a diva wide. You ain't no Jerry Rice. You know what I mean? Like when Jerry Rice became just a regular wide receiver and the league moved on, at least he was still in the league. We could watch and remember his greatness. But Antonio,
and he wasn't mouthing off either.
Antonio was never that good. He was on the path to being that good, but he never ascended to that because he, jacked off his career, making videos in the locker room with the Steelers, and then, going to the Raiders and just being a total douchebag. Hey, man, listen, you can't be – the dude has already made rounds, David. I seen him on Deion Sanders' show talking, Deion preaching to him basically, and he just sitting there, yes, sir, no, sir. You ain't never heard that, brother. Yes, sir, no, yeah, because he got to do a mea culpa, brother.
So
he got to do a mea culpa.
Back.
Yeah, man, you got to be nice to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, he out there kissing babies and shaking hands. You think he been running for president or something? He got to be good. He ain't got no choice.
Yep. Man, I don't know if I'd want him, but maybe this is. He's turned that corner.
Brother, but he might be the Dwight Howard of the Seattle Seahawks.
I can see
he
that.
might. You see what I'm saying? Like,
you're gonna do what we ask you to do.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, he ain't got no choice, Dave. He ain't got no choice but to go handle that business. This is the most business it will ever be for him. Like, don't plan to come here and have no fun. When you catch it running the end zone, that might not be a celebration because you don't know what can be perceived wrong. First of all, you still ain't been to trial for your possible rape case. So you see what I'm saying? Like, you need to be an upstanding individual.
Yep.
at all times. So
you go home, go to practice. Go home, go to practice.
It's COVID anyway. You ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
Like, go home. You got kids, man.
I see that guy, and I had him on fantasy teams, and I watched him play, and man, he had so much talent. He made such great catches sometimes, and he just screwed it all away. Just screwed it all away. All right. For NFL, that's all I got for now. That's all I, kind of thought to wing it with on this Wednesday. Anything else you want to say about any teams out there, any players, anything you saw this weekend?
How about them Cowboys? That was for you, Jamal. That was for you, baby. Hey,
they're bad.
They still gonna win the division.
I know it. So, that's what's terrible about it.
Hey, but it's 2020, right?
Yeah.
Everything that can go wrong in 2020 has. The Cowboys might win the division at 6-10 and win the damn Super Bowl because that's what 2020 has been like.
I know it. So how'd you think our discussion on Foles and Dalton went this weekend?
Shit, we both lost. Well, you can't just say that, man. We had it. Was that on last week's show?
Yes.
It was. So if y'all
We're
don't know
sitting
what
here in the
I'm
living room.
last week's show, I got Nick Foles as a quarterback, Andy Dalton is, and we was arguing on who was better. Turns out they both damn suck.
Well, you know what? I didn't watch all of the Bears game, but I did watch all of the Cowboys game, and I didn't think Dalton looked terrible. His one interception was an NQI. For those of you who don't know, an NQI is a non-quarterback interception. That is a Dave stat.
A
So
Dave, a Dave Godfrey stat. He made
that's
that.
right.
It's a good stat. They need to pay you for that, bro.
I think so. But CeeDee Lamb had a touchdown pass right in his hands and dropped it. And then he had another one right in his hands and just missed it. And that popped up and turned it into an interception. Pollard had a couple drop passes that were straight to him. But I will say they were from like 10 yards away and they were bullets. I mean, Andy just zipped it in there. He threw it way too hard for somebody that close. So I don't think he looked terrible. I don't think Foles looked awful.
Foles, Foles. Every time Foles is in a game, Foles is an average quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean that's what it really comes down to. It just so happens that average is the best it seems like the Bears could have done in the last 20 years. So
that's better than Mitch Trubisky was.
It's better than Mitch Trubisky. there's always one play in the game when it's third. He just makes a right decision to the and then it's a pass. He dropped a dime, right? And he only does it once, maybe 3 times a game. But that's the difference right now between him and a sorry quarterback. I'm at least I might not do nothing really great. I just make a professional throw in the time when we need it most.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I used to say this all the time back in the 80s about Jim McMahon. He's not gonna thrill you. He ain't gonna like kill you. He's not gonna be the guy that like come back every game and win one for you. But if it's 3rd and 10, he gonna get you third and 11. He gonna get you just what.
Yeah. I like that. I think we should coin that phrase, not going to thrill you, but not going to kill you.
I'm going to thrill you, but I ain't going to kid. I like that. That might be the name of the next show.
All right. So we got the rest of the season to see who does better, Andy Dalton or Nick Foles. Both of them going to the playoffs.
For sure.
All right, NBA. Ty Lue's going to coach the Clippers. I'm not convinced on Ty Lue, man. I'm not. I mean, he went to Cleveland and he had the best player in the world. I want to see how he's going to play.
Allegedly got the best player in Kawhi Leonard. That's what they were saying at the beginning of the season. LeBron James is washed up and Kawhi is the best ever. That what they were saying?
Okay, well, that's not true. We know it's not true.
We know it's not true. We saw the playoffs. We know who won. I saw Kawhi look like Kawhi Ducks. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, he ain't the best player, and that is gonna be Tyronn Lue. Whole coaching the Clippers is what am I doing with Kawhi?
Right, and this is where we find out if Ty Lue is a good coach.
I still stand by the fact that in Cleveland, when Tyronn Lue looked at LeBron in the huddle and said, "Shut the F up, I got this." At that point, I knew you could, because that's all it is. We're just managing personalities as a coach. Tyronn Lue, listen, people like Tyronn Lue, Doc Rivers, people who were not the star players, they have to work harder to be in this league, right? Yeah. Tyronn Lue was a champion scrub on the Lakers squad. Got stepped over. AI just disrespect him. Stepped over the man like you are nobody. I told you back then. I said somebody gonna overpay for this dude, and the Wizards overpaid for him. But it is what it is.
Get your money.
When you okay, you're an NBA talent. You the best of 400, 500 people in the world. We get it. But when you ain't the top 50. It requires a little more work and effort. And for you to have to play 8, 9, 10 years in this league with his skill level, you got something up here, right? But with all that being said, you can use as much as that you want. You still got to be able to relate to people and to be able to negotiate egos and personalities in a way that brings them together as a team to help you accomplish the goal. And there is no more mercurial person on the planet than Kawhi Leonard. If you the man that couldn't get along in San Antonio. You the guy that didn't want you the first star to ever come through San Antonio, even after the medical stuff, when Greg Popovich went to you you still left. So now that we see what you did here in Clipperland, right? We know you went to Toronto and you just professional, just went out there and handled your business. But now that you're at home on the West Coast in California, living in San Diego and trying to fly in or drive in to Clippers practice in Los Angeles, you seem to be one of those prima donna superstars all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So how do you communicate, Tyronn Lue, with a dude who don't communicate well? So when you can figure that out, then you can solve the Clippers riddle. Also, can you make Paul George back into playoff P? Or is he just going to be PG-13 when you really needed him to be rated R? You need him to be a nasty dude out there. He can't be out there all it's a lot.
It was 1 year. It was a COVID year. I'm not going to say Paul Pierce is going to be that guy the rest of his career. It was this year. Otherwise, he's been pretty reliable, right? I mean, so...
We had this conversation. I think I wasn't there last week. He ain't never impressed me. I mean, he had 2 years.
But he hasn't been terrible like he was this year. I mean, he was bad.
He was
in the playoffs.
terrible in the playoffs, and now you comes out. You got some mental issues. Look, I got a psychology degree. I understand the whole mental issues and this, that, and the other. But you probably can't play on my squad with the mental issues. I'm just saying, this is a game of basketball, not a game of life. A game of life, I want to give Paul George a hug and give him a lolly, and let's talk about your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts. In the game of basketball, you can go play for Alaska Airlines or something. I don't know if he could play for me. He couldn't play for me.
He'll get some counseling. He'll be all right, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Give him some Prozac, whatever.
So that's what Tyronn Lue is trying to do.
You know what I do like about Tyronn Lue is that he has been that guy that's on the bench and the role player kind of cat. So I think he can connect a lot better with those guys. You know, Kawhi is going to do his thing. Paul Pierce is going to do his thing. You know what? He can make those role players better just from his experience and asking. Yeah.
You said Pierce twice. I had to let it ride. I was like, okay, we got to go.
Paul George.
You're right. And we got some names all the time, but you hit it hard twice.
Paul Pierce. Bad. You're right, yeah. Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George. But I mean, if you make your role players better, you can sit Kawhi down a little bit more, and therefore that's a little bit more control.
But I got 2 6-man as role players, so
that's all right.
I mean, as role players, I mean, so like I don't know if you have work to do with your actual role players. You know what I mean? That's another issue. Is Montrezl Harrell is a whole nother issue, but I don't think that will even be something he has to deal with. I think the new GM or Ballmer is going to deal with that because I'm not giving him $25 million to come off the bench.
Well, I mean, they're going to have new guys come in too, right? I mean, it's not just going to be the same 4 or 5 guys here. So we'll see how it goes.
You got to make a choice. You can't have Montrez and Lou Williams. That's a lot of money on your bench.
So who do you take, Montrez or Lou?
Lou Williams without a doubt.
Me too.
I mean, first, let me take Lemon Pepper Lou for the win. Let me take. I'm just saying. Montrez is younger, he's bigger, and easily by far a much better defender. But I ain't gotta pay this dude $25 million. Like that at some point that matters because I have a whole roster that I have to pay.
That's
and
funny.
since we didn't win, right? Because when you win, then people will come play for you for little or nothing. But they ain't doing that with the Clippers. Right
That's
now.
Hilarious. You saying you're not gonna pay this guy that money. You're always the one because I'm always the one saying that.
He should get. Oh, I didn't say he should get paid. I think the Knicks should call Montrez and give him $30 million.
You said you weren't gonna pay him that.
I ain't on the Clippers. I'm owning the Clippers right now. I ain't but if I'm the Knicks, I'm finna give him all that money. Come on, dog. We need you. We need your energy. All of that. You should get all that money, Montrez. Just not from the Clippers.
Yeah, go the Knicks. They're a horrible team. So, all right. So, Ty Lue's coaching the Clippers. Stan Van gonna go coach the Pelicans. Stan Van Gundy.
The who?
So, the Pelicans. The Pelicans.
That ain't what the name is. Come on, say their name, David.
The New York Duke South.
Yeah. The
New Orleans
Pelicans. Yeah, the
Blue Pelicans.
The New Orleans Duke Blue Pelicans. That's what they are.
Because
gonna be coached by Stan Van Gundy.
Yep.
I know Mavericks is your squad, but all those Duke players that was on that team last year, I know you're
a Duke GM.
I know you're very fond of the Pelicans.
Yeah.
And Stan ain't the man.
Yeah. I mean, he did okay in Orlando.
Yeah. I don't see how it fits.
He's had some pretty good defensive teams. I mean, not all NBA, top 5 NBA, but top 10, top 15 NBA defensive teams.
Oh,
maybe that helps. They got
how it fits. Like, I don't even know if Stan's big butt is gonna lead the restaurants. He might be having a coach from Bourbon Street. Like Bourbon Street. I think I messed that one up. But dude might be on.
He's gonna be eating tons of gumbo, man.
In the French Quarter, we might not get Stan big butt up off the French Quarter, man.
He's gonna have his own table at Cafe Du Monde eating those beignets.
Yeah. Him and Zion, gonna call Zion too. He probably be getting a little chubby too by now.
All right, Scott, tell me where they need to eat, and I'll send him an email.
No, Scott, don't do that, man. He really want. You really want Zion to do well. I just don't see the fit, man. I think about his Orlando teams. I think about his Miami teams. I think that the person that least benefits is Ingram. Because when Van Gundy, Miami Heat, you think about Miami Heat, I don't care. As long as Pat Riley had been there, they always been tough. And he was in that same kind of, we going to be tough, but he didn't have the same kind of tough-minded people in Orlando. Some 20, 30 games, it felt good, and then they just kind of fizzled.
Yeah.
I don't see how that tough thing is going to work. Like, I think Zion is a tough dude, but Brandon Ingram is not. There's nothing remotely close about. That don't mean he can't play, but
all I can say is I think he's going to turn up the defense a little bit. And I don't know what else will happen.
See, a young cat like Zion just gonna say, "Let me ball," right? Okay, coach. He loves. I'm saying, Zion is one of the few people that I don't care how old he'll be. I think the dude just like to play basketball.
He does, man. I love that about him.
It frustrated him being injured. He hated sitting on that doggone bench. Let me play. When his minutes wasn't right, he hated it. He pouted like a big. I mean, he is a kid, but he pouted like, "Come on, man, let me play." So when you have people with that kind of, I don't even know his passion. It's just, I just want to do it. This is what I want to do. He don't want to sleep.
It's fun.
He just want to go play basketball. It's easy to get that guy to play defense.
Yeah.
Hey, Zion, I'm gonna have to sit you down. You ain't gonna play defense. Okay. But I don't even think you have to tell him that.
No, he loves it, dude. He loves defense too.
But when you're in the NBA, and this is the truth, this ain't even debatable. You get paid to score. Like the best offensive dude makes double what the best defensive dude does. That's just a reality. Like if Montrez's offensive game was as good as his defensive game, he wouldn't be a six man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality. They pay you for offense. So it's hard to get people to buy in to play defense when ultimately I'm still in the NBA and I'm making millions. I'm trying to make more millions, and the way to do that is to put the ball in the bucket.
Yeah. I don't think that's a problem with Zion either. I think he's going to get his
Yeah.
points. So
I don't think it's a problem with Zion. I don't think it's a problem with Holiday, but that's why I specifically, picked on Ingram, sort of picked on him. I don't think that
he does not play defense.
he doesn't play defense. Like,
well, he's going to learn.
But now that this is not Brandon Ingram of the Lakers, I don't have the same pressure. He's going to get that kind of pressure again, but it's going to be asked of him defensively. And he didn't do well with the LA pressure. I'm not sure how he's going to do well with the Stan Van Gundy pressure. That's why I say I don't think it's a good fit. It might be a good fit for some. It might even be a good fit for majority, but I still believe until Zion becomes what they say he is, it's Brandon Ingram's team. It was Brandon Ingram's team. So listen, it don't matter because they already have anointed Zion. So either Brandon gonna get with the program or he'll be playing for the Knicks too.
Yeah, and I don't think he wants to play for the Knicks, man. You don't want to go somewhere the press is going to be all over you.
He can't go for the Knicks. I'm gonna tell you.
He does not.
I'm gonna tell you where he should go.
Orlando?
No, that'd be perfect. Mean, he'd be in oblivion.
Yes.
Golden State trying to trade their pick. Get rid of number 2.
Number 2?
Number 2. Brandon.
Right now, I don't know if I give up Brandon Ingram for number 2. I mean, Brandon. He was most improved last year. He was.
But we just talked about, is he gonna fit with Stan Gann? It's a more relaxed. Hey, Brandon, we asking you to come over here and be KD light. We ain't asking you to be KD. We literally asking you to be KD light. We don't want you to ever take number 1 option shots. We want you to take. You're gonna always be option number 2.
Okay.
And mostly option number 3.
From Brandon's point of view, that would probably work for him. But if I'm the Pelicans right now, I got Brandon Ingram, and I'm looking at this draft going, I don't have a guy that I think is going to be as good as Brandon Ingram.
Doesn't matter. And let's say this, Dave. Sometimes I don't believe this, but in the past, the NBA has believed you have to move somebody out like an Ingram so that Zion can completely flourish, right? I don't believe in that. Like, Ingram is not stupid. He already played in LA. He saw how this pecking order thing goes. He was number 1 pick. You were a number 3 pick. I mean, it's that's how it goes. Number 1 is going to get more opportunities to fail than number 2. And number 2 pick going to get more opportunities to fail than number 3. It works like that in every athletic draft. The guy who's picked higher is going to get more opportunities to fail. And so Zion being number 1, he gonna get more opportunities. Unless you Anthony Bennett.
Darko Milicic.
Darko Milicic had more opportunities. He
had a lot of opportunities.
But Anthony Bennett had none. He went to Cleveland and he sucked, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
You ain't heard from Anthony Bennett since.
I think he's a lounge singer in New York City now.
I think he's a lounge singer back here in Vegas where he's from. The problem is COVID, and we ain't got no lounge singer, so the man's still out of a job.
Yeah. Anthony Bennett sings Frank Sinatra there in Las Vegas.
I did it my way.
And it wasn't very good. Your way wasn't very good. So speaking of the draft, so the draft is coming November 18th. Man, I read something today that the Timberwolves are thinking about trying to trade that number 1 pick because they're like you were saying, man. It's like, I don't think there's anybody out there that's worth a number 1.
Don't nobody thrill you. You know what I mean? Like, for what?
I don't know. You get maybe you get a Brandon Ingram.
They could trade for somebody tough like Jimmy Butler.
You think Miami would trade him after this year? I don't think so.
No. That was like that. I couldn't have told a bigger joke if I tried.
I know.
No, I mean, but they missed Jimmy the minute they let him go. I mean, it's obvious. All you gotta do is look at Joel Embiid, all his love fest that he had for Jimmy Butler during the finals. Like, he realized, damn, I had this guy on my squad.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Joel. Like,
And I think that made a big difference with Philadelphia. What happened to them down the stretch?
uh,
Oh yeah.
like. I mean, you heard me say this before. Jimmy Butler's a top 50 player in the first 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, he's a top 5. And then he showed out with the ankle. And man, it was so crazy to watch dude with that ankle not be able to have no lift. And I can't believe nobody said nothing, but he's still out there trying to ball, man. Like, for people, if there are people who don't like Jimmy Butler, you just don't like sports and you just don't like the human story. Like, there is nothing to. Only thing you can hate on about Jimmy is, boy, that he needs some clippers.
That or he plays for
Yeah,
he plays for Miami Heat
he
or
needs.
something like that.
Oh, okay, but I'm just
You
saying.
don't like him because of the team he plays for, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Yeah.
I got you. But the only thing you can really hate on is that brother need a razor and a lot of shaving cream. You know what I mean? He need to start all over.
Your barbershop can take care of that, man. I know they had a barbershop in the bubble, so
This is listen. I think he should take care of it now, but he was in bubble mode, baby. He was in fighter mode. He was in his Rocky mode. Like, I ain't shaving nothing. I'm just here to get this business.
So he had the beard of the tiger, is what you're saying. He didn't have the eye of the tiger. He had the beard of the tiger.
Of the tiger, absolutely. But the tiger is now dead. He's gonna put it to sleep.
All right. So,
but no, there's nobody for the Wolves to trade, man. Like, what? I'm not giving you nothing for that number 1.
So who do they got now? They got Karl Anthony Towns
and D'Angelo. That's really it.
D'Angelo Russell. They got nothing.
You know who
they got a number 1 pick.
You know I like Obi Toppin, but I wouldn't take him number 1. Like, that's the guy you need, but I don't think he number 1 quality. That's the problem. There is no number 1 pick. There is nobody that make you go, oh, I gotta have this guy. Ain't no Zion. Ain't no Shaquille O'Neal. Like, ain't no Anthony Hardaway even.
Well, like even the way the season went this year, there was no tournament, so there was no breakout guys that caught your attention, that kind of and performed really well. Oh, that guy scored 30 points a game in the NCAA tournaments.
It's even worse. They got the 17th pick and the 33rd pick in the second round. What's that, number 2 or 3?
Number 2 or 3
in the second round? Bro, like, I think they should take their pick and pick it, then trade your 17 and your 33rd and go back into the top 10 somewhere and pick a guy right there. Then let them play the year and then try to package those 2 guys to get somebody else. You know what they need to try? I'm going to tell you what they need to try. I don't think it's going to work, but I'll try it. Call the Bucks.
For who?
Giannis.
Or Giannis?
Giannis out of there, bro.
That ain't going to happen.
I've been telling you this for a long, long time.
He might be out of there, but they're not giving.
He finna sign that deal this year, and everybody gonna go, whew, he's staying in Milwaukee, and then he gonna promptly say, get me the hell up out of here. They might well go and trade and get something for. Matter of fact, ask for all 3 picks.
I don't give up Giannis for those 3 picks in this draft. I don't do it.
Just because you drafted him don't mean you have to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, like
I wouldn't even try to pretend. I would just draft him. But like everybody, the people who think that the guy from Georgia, Anthony Edwards, I believe, is the number 1 pick because they like his NBA body. Yeah, whatever. You draft him. Listen, on the Minnesota Timberwolves, I wouldn't even try to coach. I just roll it out like we were playing Little League or something. I just throw the ball out and just let everybody's skill and talent be seen. And then I flip Anthony Edwards. I flip him the next year. I get me something I like. It ain't like you're going to win anyway. You got D'Angelo and Cat. Neither one of them know. They don't even know what a defensive stance is. No, you ain't going to win.
But you know what? I'm so tired of the same teams being at the top of the NBA draft. I'm so tired of it. It's always
Golden State ain't been there since.
You're right. Golden State hasn't. Yeah. Minnesota has. Cleveland has. Who else is up there? I mean, just same teams.
Twice.
Yeah.
Didn't they get?
I thought they got it 3 times.
Yeah, they got LeBron, they got Anthony Bennett, and then Kyrie.
What about Wiggins.
And Wiggins. They should be allowed. I'm with you now. They can't be in the NBA draft. No, you automatically 14 because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
You know what I told you? I said if every year you're in there, if you
Like,
go down, you lose that. You go down a pick. If you get the number 1 pick, no, you get the number 2 pick.
like,
If you get the number,
yeah. You spending too much and you ain't doing nothing with it. We're gonna tax you.
or either that, or you reverse the order. So if you're the worst team in the NFL, you get the 14th. I'm sorry, NBA, you get the 14th pick.
The last man, I'm with you. The last guy that missed the playoff gets
the number 1.
Yeah,
and that way that makes you compete.
Didn't they try that?
No, they didn't try that.
Yeah, kinda. The bottom 3 teams all had equal shot at the number 1 pick.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they trying.
Yeah, that's like a weak ass effort, but it's they're trying. So I got a 33% chance of getting the number 1 pick instead of
14. Listen, it worked out for me. My team moved from like 7 to 8 to 4, so I'm good with it.
That's when the Mavericks last year should have had the number 1 pick, or a couple years ago or something like that, and ended up with 4th. I mean, we still got Luka.
Yeah. You got to
complain.
Leave that alone. Bad example.
No, but it's not the first time the Mavericks have, they've dropped down in the draft because the lottery just did nothing for them. I mean, one year we got like the 13th or 14th pick when we should have had like 4 or 5 or something like that. So it's not been very lucky for us. But
Euro, no matter what. So
you're right.
It ain't gonna matter. It don't matter if they got the number 1 pick. They ain't gonna pick the right man.
From leukemia, the Dallas Mavericks draft Stanislavich, Stanislavich, something. Some guy from Eastern Europe. That's what we're getting.
And Boban, the only man that know. Oh yes, he's very good.
Oh yeah. I played with him in Europe.
And Boban, the only person that know who he is.
That's right. So, fun stuff. Looking forward to the draft. So, that's all I got on NBA. You got anything else to say about?
Nada.
You want to congratulate the Lakers at all or anything for winning that championship?
Last week, man, you don't have to listen. When you got 17 of them things, it's just another thing. You just sweat it.
Whatever.
Just another day in the league.
Whatever. All right. So baseball World Series is going on. Dodgers take the first game, and your boy Clayton Kershaw finally played a game at a championship level in the playoffs.
Look good.
Yeah.
You know what else look good though?
Who?
Mookie Betts.
Yeah. He always looks good though.
I just want to give props to the Dodgers overall for playing baseball. We had got to this point where we just like throw it hard, hit it hard. Let's see if it go out of the park. Now the Dodgers still do that too, but they're double steals. I mean, steals in general is like a lost art. I grew up watching baseball in the 80s, and I used to watch the Cardinals. Is it Vince? I can't think of his name. Vince. But anyway, 80 bases a game, bro. Ain't nobody get. They talking about
that was National League too.
They talking about 30 and 40 now as the good. Come on, bro. So just that hurts my feelings, right? I mean, stealing bases is a big part of the game that they just kind of, but not this Dodger team. Mookie Betts out there stealing second and third in the same damn inning. Like,
I love watching those guys play, man. Like Rock Reigns, man. I love me some Rock Reigns. Ricky Henderson, man. Guys that bat 300 and steal 60, 70 bases a year. I love those guys, man.
I love it. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy that Kershaw looked good. I'm happy that it looks like a baseball game when I'm watching it. That's part.
You know what I'm most happy about in game 1? The Astros weren't in it. Those cheating MFing Houston Astros got their butts kicked and they're out. Well, I wouldn't say they got their butts kicked. They got beat. They took it to 7. So, that's farther than I thought they would go on it. But
I'm over here cheating right now. I keep looking, like trying to find the score right there. Tampa Bay 1, Dodgers 0, top of the second. And we're not in trouble for this because won't be posted until tomorrow. So it's not like we'll be in trouble with no for posting live
Giving away
scores.
the score, right? Yeah.
No, you can't give away live scores. Like, so if we was on live right now, we wouldn't be allowed to do that.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
you cannot give out live scores. It's not. I don't know if it's just against whatever media. I mean, like, because you don't have permission
Really?
to. You're broadcasting.
I
You
think
don't
I've
have.
heard guys do that before, like on the
Yeah,
radio. Oh,
and they try to backtrack too and be like,
but I know I heard Jamal do it when he had his podcast. He and Art, boy, they'd be watching the game. Oh,
well, I mean, come on, man. He was in the same position we are. Who watching?
no, he had it. It was live. I mean, he would put it up, and you could watch it the next day too. But
I
it was
know, but
live.
how many people watching? That's, I mean, like I'm saying, for example, if we were literally on ESPN, we don't have permission from Fox
Well,
to
right.
report the live score. That's why they have. I mean, you can. Yeah, I mean, we can't give you live play-by-play. We can give you a live score. We can't say Mookie Betts is up to bat right now. First pitch, strike. We can't do that. That would be against the rules.
What I need you to do is to tell me that how big the fines are, so I can say, Jamal, how much can you give me so that I don't turn you in for what it was for these rules that you broke?
Hey, might want to do that, brother, like that. He didn't do play-by-play. It's only play-by-play. You can
okay. You just said you couldn't report the score.
Players mess up. It's play-by-play that you can't do.
So anyway, I don't care if the Dodgers or Tampa win. You know, Arlington's a American League city, so I kind of hope Tampa wins for the American League. But Dodgers, man, I don't mind the Dodgers. They're all right. So glad the series here in Arlington. I don't know why, just because, you know, it's here. But World Series here in Arlington. Y'all come by.
We made it through the season.
Amen.
They made it through. They didn't even actually, you know, they didn't bubble into the playoffs. Everybody that needed to get their games in got to, 58. There was nobody at 50, so they got all their games. I didn't think
I don't know how the Marlins did that.
I don't know how they did it either. But so, you know what I mean? We gave baseball a lot of crap. So props to baseball for getting through it and just, you know what I mean? Like, and now people are panicking. Oh, NFL, COVID, NFL, COVID. Okay, we just watched baseball go through this. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm very upset with them postponing games. No, if these other people are not sick, y'all go out there and play that damn game. The other thing I'm upset about is why aren't they completely clothed? Like, why?
Yeah, I thought no sleeves, no gloves. Yeah.
Gloves, sleeves. I mean, the compression pants on your knees to your calves to make sure that we can't, rub up and bump up against either, especially linemen. Like, like they crash into each other all day long. So now I don't understand why they're not mandated to do that and wear the little plastic shields through the whole mat. Like, I mean, I know they had already made them. Like, there's some people using them, but why they're not mandated to wear? It's just weird to me. Like, sometimes, like, these leagues say they want to, we're going to be, have precautions set up for COVID, and to me, it's just mouth service because there's so much more that they could have did. It just makes simple sense to me. Like, we're just saying that we're gonna, what I mean, like, it's just disappointing. So, with that being said, whatever happens, happens. Play the damn games.
Yeah. Well, I think, man, I mean, with as many people as they got to have, which is, I think, is more than any other sport, definitely more than basketball, definitely more than baseball. I think they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, considering they're not in a bubble, they've had to postpone one game.
My problem, they didn't postpone more than one. They have moved
2 games.
They have moved 8 games
Is 8
because of those 2 games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
8 games. So they, you know what I mean? Like, they moved.
Right. Yeah, I was just thinking those 2. Okay.
It affected 8 other games.
You're right. You're right.
But I'm saying, play the Super Bowl on March 1st. Add weeks to the
season. I don't disagree with that either.
It's just that simple. Add weeks to the season, or don't, like, was it the Titans? They had pretty much got screwed out of their bye week because we're not playing, and just because they didn't play a game that shouldn't count as a bye week because most people on a bye week might go on a trip. You obviously not going to go on a trip during a pandemic, but you at least at home for 3-4 days with your family. So that's something they couldn't do. It was a regular week. It just wasn't no damn game.
Well,
It's not qualify as a bye week.
I at least think they're probably going to have the week between the NFC, AFC playoffs and the Super Bowl. That's usually, nothing goes on that week. It's media week, blah, blah, blah. I imagine we're going to play regular season games and extend that probably where it's only going to be a week between the championship games and the Super Bowl. I think at least that's probably going to happen. But, they may end up extending it into March.
Yeah, it's just weird. Just go ahead and extend the season. Like, what are you worried about? People like you control your stadium. You control your stadiums. Yeah. It's not like a NCAA team playing, at the Maverick Stadium. Well, we're gonna push y'all for our stuff first, right? It's not. Are they having concerts right now? No, you control the stadium. Just push these games to the end of the season. Like what they did to Titans and ridiculous. It's we're in a pandemic, bro. It is what it is. Adjust.
Yeah. Right on. So, okay, moving on. You got anything for You Suck?
Yeah, I want to give a big fat out You Suck to my tongue.
All right, let's hear this.
I be in the gym working hard, trying to get my cardio, and then I come home and see some banana bread or some banana split ice cream, or just deliciousness, and I be trying really hard, man. I ate a tomato, cucumber, and onion with balsamic vinaigrette today. That was lunch. But I don't know. It was maybe 50 minutes later. That banana bread was looking good. I put a little butter on there. Damn tongue get me in trouble all the time. So I'm giving You Suck to my tongue for loving delicious things.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I gotta agree with you because yesterday, like once a month, we they like bring in cupcakes or cakes or cookies or something like that for like the monthly birthdays, right? So they brought in these big fat cupcakes with all kinds of ice. Man, I tried to resist. I tried to be good, but I had one. And then the company that runs the commercial real estate that we rent our warehouse from, they kept setting off of our alarm yesterday, our like fire alarm, and testing it, and didn't tell us they were going to do that or whatever. And it kept going off. So as a way of apology, they sent us this massive cookie tray of Tiff's treats, which when the cookies get there, they are all warm.
Yes, I love Tiff's treats.
Oh my God. So I ate 2 of those, man. I'm like, so I feel you, man.
The struggle is real, man. The struggle is real. I don't regret it at all because the banana.
All those cookies were good.
It was, I'm healthier, but I'm not the health that I want to have.
Right.
But you have to have these moments where you just enjoy a little bit. The problem is the little bit. Sometimes I overdo the little bit. Like it's just a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's why I had to give a You Suck out to my tongue for just loving deliciousness. I love it when it all in my mouth just be tasting good.
Warm cookies, boy. I feel you. All right. Well, you know what? I got nothing this week for You Suck either. I am so busy at work that I can't hate on anybody or anything, man. It's the only thing that sucks is I'm working so hard. I'm not getting to ride the bicycle as much, so that kind of sucks. But the work is good. The work is good. So you got anything for Ray's rumination?
For Ray's rumination, I have nada.
Nada.
I ain't got
nada. That's what you get on a Wing It Wednesday. With no preparation, we get through some of this without our typical standard daily fare. So I will say, Dave's dialogue, I don't have much either. I'm just gonna say, man, I'm just trying every day to get some more moving done, trying to get my boxes packed up every day. Every time I go down to the truck, when I go to work, I take a box that I filled up. So by the time it rolls around early December, I'm going to have that done. I'm going to have everything outside the house by then, except for the big furniture, my chairs and my bookcase and a couple of things like that.
Yeah, you ain't got that much big furniture, though.
So all you cats out there, first weekend of December, I expect to see you here helping me move that stuff. It'll probably only take 2-3 hours with all of us there, of course.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. That sounds
So,
good. Let's see, who else is in Dallas with you? Jamal's in Dallas.
Jamal's here.
Who else is in Dallas?
You know, Scott will be here. I know he will. You don't have to be Scott, and I know you're gonna see this. Whatever, you know. I'll have most of it handled up on by myself, but nobody else is here in Dallas, man. But if anybody wants to fly in, you know, I'm moving into a 2-bed place, so I got a place for you to crash.
All of them could crash in the same bed.
Right there. I got sleeping bags. I got 2 air mattresses. I got another bed.
Air mattress. Hey. Don't front. Hey, for all y'all don't know, I sleep on that air mattress once a month. And it is the bomb.com. Make you want to consider changing out your mattress and get you an air mattress. It's quite comfy. It's firm, but still yet soft. It's what a bed is supposed to be. I mean, these people are amazing with what they can make today.
Yeah. So that's it, man. So
well, all right, and that's the show. If you like it, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit like. If you don't like it, go ahead and subscribe and hit like anyway. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. But we really just appreciate you listening to us talk about our life and sports and our life through sports on the internet or radio or your Bluetooth speakers. We don't do it to be attention seekers. We just 2 brothers talking about sports, better known to you as
preachers from the bleachers.
Peace.
Peace out, man.